Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Spencer TCG here with some videos of my draft deck with Kylo. I'm going to put all three of my games on this video. They are best of one, so they're going to be a little bit faster than watching a best 2 out of 3 game. If you guys missed the deck construction of this for draft, I uploaded it yesterday, so you guys can check that out and see my thought processes and whatnot. But without further ado, let's get this started. So we are playing Kylo Green in draft. And first up, we are against a Fennec. Fennec, I again rated as a pretty low leader. I know a lot of people really like her. I see that she's very popular. The problem with Fennec is that it is a poorly statted leader that comes out on 5. It dies to almost everything, and it's a huge problem when, like, let's say both boards are empty and your opponent plays like a solid 5-drop. Well, then do I really play Fennec now because it's just going to get one shot by that 5-drop, like IG-11, right? We'll just kill it and live. Fennec does have a strong ability, giving things ambush, but says you need to play off curve. And I don't like playing off curve unless my stats are getting buffed somehow. So, like, Ray is good at playing off curve because she makes up for the +1/+1, which is then like playing on curve, but just, not really. It's not good action economy, but can really help like fill in curves, if that makes sense. And that's why Ray's really strong. And Fennec, I think, is a lot weaker, but people have difference of opinions, right? So it is actually going to be a tough matchup though for us because Kylo again only has 4 health, also very easy to kill, which another reason why I gave Kylo such a low rating. He's just very niche and risky. I do think I have a decent draft deck. After all, I look at my pool and I think that I can at least 2-1 with it is like my gut feeling when I look at it. I feel like I'm just fast enough. I have enough 1-drops to really, send my opponent packing. But this is going to be a tough game because everything can have ambush. So depending on the cards you have, we can get blown out pretty easily. But we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to start up with the Guardian guy. He's the 2/3 Saboteur and has the bounty where my opponent gets to draw a card. Again, don't really like this card too much outside of very, very aggressive decks because I don't like when my opponent draws. And he plays a very good turn 1 play against us. He plays a 3/3. I had another 1-drop in my hand, but I didn't want him to have the initiative. I want to be able to do something with my unit. I think I have the Outland TIE Vanguard, so at least I can buff my unit up and try to make use of the extra mana with the 1-drop I could have played the turn before. But yeah, seeing a 3/3 is not good for us because that means it's, no matter what I played, it would have answered it, and I'm an aggro deck, and I don't want to get answered. So we play the TIE Vanguard, and we give an experience token to my dude. So now it's going to be a 3/4. He's using the Fennec ability, it looks like. So, I wonder, I'm not really too scared about most 2-drops, but I am scared about this one, Freetown Backup. Man, he had a very good first 2 turns of the game. Freetown Backup is a 1/4 that gives something +2/+2 for the turn. So he gets to put 1 damage on my guy and live, which is like literally ideal scenario because he has the 3/3, right? And he's turning his Wookiee into a 5/5, so now I can't even value trade the Wookiee away, and he's going to get 5 damage to the base. This is like, I mean, it's draft, right? So like this is a very, very, very unfortunate first 2 turns, and it's going to be an uphill battle for sure. I end up just doing 3 damage to the base when I can. There's, some line where maybe I kill the Freetown Backup now, but it only has 1 health left. And I'm assuming that I can kill it later. I have 1 resource floating, so I was thinking about whether I want to take the initiative or not. I do take the initiative here because the first thing I could do is attack his Wookiee and tap down his Freetown Backup. Is that better than playing a 1-costed 2/2? Probably, because then his Wookiee gets a free attack, right? So kind of was unfortunate the way the turn played out that I lost my 1 resource 2 turns in a row. So instead of the value trade, I actually must have drawn the removal spell, Detention Block Rescue, which is a decent removal because while I'm like trading down because it's a 3 cost for a 2 cost, I'm removing a unit and tapping something else. I'm like doing 2 things, and it looks like now I have like 5 damage more to face, which is nice. But he has a good ambush, so we're shad. He gets to draw a card from the bounty. I wasn't sure if he did that, but I think I reminded him in person. I ended up finally playing my 1-costed 2/2. I discard a card for Kylo's effect, hit him for 4. I then summon Kylo and hit him for another 4. I felt like it was a good opportunity to summon Kylo because he does not have something with 4 attack on his field. He could try to use the Freetown backup, but then I could use Dengar to get away with that guy, or I could just hit him for, the 4 or 5 damage that Kylo's doing right away. I guess I have 2 cards by hand, so it would be doing only 3 right now. But yeah, so my guy has 4 defense, so as long as he doesn't have like a good ambush, which, isn't the most likely thing to have an ambush with 4 attack to kill my Kylo, but there are definitely some things that can do it and can blow me out, which is why Kylo is riskier. But again, he had such a good turn 1 and 2 of the game, and honestly, turn 3 that I probably should never win this game anyway. I am up on damage, so there's hope. This is really the turn where I'm like, hey, if you can't kill Kylo, maybe I can just squeeze enough damage. But he has another really good turn where he's playing the Fleet Lieutenant spaceship. So he gets to now kill my Kylo while playing and establishing a big space unit. This is going to be a huge problem, right? That space unit is way bigger than my field. I can only do 2 damage. I think I could do 4. So, right, he's twice as fast as me. And, of course, he still has his leader. His leader's only 4 damage, but, I have nothing over there on board. I'm kind of hoping he starts trading with my units, but he just goes to face, which I think is correct, because I think I'm not going to be winning a race against 2 things with 4 attack when I have a bunch of small things. If you guys watched my draft video, I ended up cutting Outflank from my deck, but this is the one situation where Outflank might actually come in handy, but it's not looking good because even, if you guys just do some simple math, which is really good sometimes doing Star Wars, just simple math, he has 8 damage right here, putting me to 17. And then the following turn, I can only assume 8 damage again if I don't clear his board, 25. So if he has played something with 5 attack, I'd be dead. And then this turn, I'm doing, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, putting him to 23. So, who's doing the damage faster? Depends who has the initiative, and it'll be him because he has more cards. So it's already looking not good. But he plays another good turn. I got high rolled very hard this game. He plays a 6-cost ambush, 5/5, so he's able to bleed damage over 4 damage on my guy, as well as establish that 5 attack body that we were just talking about. So now I'm actually dead 1 turn sequence sooner, so now I really don't think there's any way I can win. Right, I'm going to take 8 more this turn, going to 21, and then 4 plus 5 is dead. Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. Sadly, I did not have an answer to his ground unit. I just have more space stuff, so we're just hitting him in space. We do have that 2/3, so I guess in hindsight, I could have played the 2/3, taken the initiative, and then swung at the ambush to say I can live 1 more turn. But I really don't think that leads to a winning scenario because I'd have to take the initiative, which means I'd get 4 damage less on his face, and I just lose. At this point in the game, I know I've pretty much lost, unless my opponent misplays, so now I'm really just hoping for a misplay. But again, I've taken 21 damage, and he has a 5 attack and a 4 attack. So his first turn of the play, if you guys are ever in this scenario in the future, swing with the 5 attack thing, put me to 26, and then he has 2 4 attack guys. I have to kill them both. They're in different arenas. Very, very unlikely. Probably just dead. So he is thinking a lot about what card to play from his hand, but just use your field in this instance, guys, because it would just pretty much always work. He ends up playing something from his hand, though, instead. He plays actually another pretty decent effect. He uses Fennec to give something ambush. He plays this spaceship that lets him tap something to get +3/+0 bigger. And it has Overwhelm. So he plays that spaceship. He taps down his 5/5. I guess it's a 5/2 right now. And then he looks at what space unit to kill. He ends up killing my Outlied TIE Vanguard with the experience token. So I take 4 damage. And again, you can see while he did play a card from his hand, he's actually killing me slower and giving me a chance to win, which is Just something to think about, right? Your field was good enough to beat me. You didn't need to use the card in your hand. But obviously, I'm still dead to both 4 attacks. I'm just dead 1 turn longer. So I deal 3 damage here. Obviously, he's going to attack me for 4, put me to 29. So if I did play Outflank here, if I did have it, if that was the card, we would have had it. But we don't have Outflank. We have 2 coronavirus cards in our hand. And just like that, we lose. Oh, wow. And the camera got scruffled. And let's go right into the next game. So now we are 0-1, which is sad, but totally fine. We're doing a pack per win for draft, so let's see if we can get these next 2 games. So we're up against another Fennec, which is unlucky, but again, after playing that last one, I actually was like, man, I almost won, and I felt like he had a perfect answer every single turn of the game, which just shows that, Kylo can do some serious work when you have a very, very aggressive deck, which I was able to draft. Hope you guys are liking me not rocking any sleeves. I do recommend playing with sleeves, though, to get a little bit better of a shuffle, but I had nothing too special in my deck. So he is playing Fennec Red, a little bit different than Fennec Green. I would say, again, red is a better supporting color in general in the draft. It has removal tools, and it has really solid statted units. So if you guys are unsure of your second color, I think red is definitely a good choice. So learning from my mistakes in last match, I don't know. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I think this guy's actually a pretty decent player. I do think after reviewing this video, I do think we make some combat math mistakes, which is really unfortunate. I'm not sure they would have changed the outcome of the game at all, but it definitely would have changed some stuff. So he ends up taking the initiative turn 1, which is pretty lucky for us that he didn't have a turn 1 play after mulligan. We're just hoping that he doesn't ambush my 2-3, which, isn't that likely, like I said, because Fennec has to play a curve down, so you have to ambush in a 3-2, and then, you're just using your whole turn to trade with my last turn, which isn't ideal. He plays a very good statted unit, and the Liberated Slaves, it is a 3-5. I play the Outland TIE Vanguard, buffing my unit to a 3-4. And then I play a 1-drop, and because I play this 1-drop, I probably want to kill his Liberated Slaves, so I swing at it with the House Cast Soldier. Because I buffed it up with Kylo, it actually swings for 5. So I could have got 5 damage to the face, but instead I decided to just completely dominate the board. I have 3 units, he has nothing, and my House Cast Soldier, while has 1 HP left, is still kicking and alive. He plays the Night Owl Skirmisher on my 2-2, so his unit is going to take, or 2-3, his unit's going to take 2 damage back, and he gets to draw a card, which I think he just did when I wasn't looking, but I don't remember. We now have the option of trading with his unit or just doing the damage. I'm an aggro deck, so I should probably just get the damage in when I can. So I deal 3 damage, putting him to 27 left, and then I deal 2 damage, putting him to 25 left. And then I play a Punishing 1. Really like this card. Again, crazy space unit when it gets to untap. Otherwise, it's just like on-rate stats in space, which is just a scary unit. So yes, I don't really want to trade with this guy. I want him to trade with me. I'm hoping that he sends the Night Owl Skirmisher into my House Cast Soldier. That means I just got an extra 3 damage, right? Because if I traded it into him, then I wouldn't have got the damage. He plays a Spaceship Knight. The defending player controls more resources, and then it gets bigger. Yeah, that's the card. We have the same number of resources, so it just takes 2 back. I'm actually going to pause the video really fast just to talk about a couple things that we didn't do the turn before. So where we are right now is he used Fennec ability, and he ambushed my guy, so he's all tapped out. Last turn, if you guys noticed, I didn't summon Kylo. I didn't like that he had a damaged unit on his field that could swing into my Kylo, so it didn't seem like the best window for him. So it is sometimes weird to delay your leader by 1 turn, but I was thinking I might be able to just find a better window where I make him like waste an ambush at least to get rid of my Kylo and not just have like a free unit on the board to do it. So Kylo was not the card to summon last turn. So I get 3 damage in with my soldier, putting him down to 22. I then play IG-11 before attacking, which is really important. I'm trying to say, hey, don't summon your Fennec, so he takes the initiative. I then value trade with Punishing One just to clear the field. And then I get to summon Kylo because he didn't summon Fennec and swing for 4. Putting him down to 18. And 8, 9, 10. So right here, I think he thought... Actually, again, I keep wanting to remember... I've done this video like 3 times now, but I keep wanting to remember when he does the damage mess up. But right now we have a life discrepancy. 8, 9, 10. He's taken 10 damage, and I've said he's taken 12 damage. Because he has 18 left, right? So I'm pretty sure that I did the math right, but I don't... He might have been making like different plays since we had a life discrepancy and we didn't check it to next turn. So I don't know when that combat math thing happened, but yeah. So he ends up doing exactly what we thought. He uses ambush on the Kylo. Again, I'd rather him use his whole turn than his leader for free. We summon the Hunting Nexu. Again, we play so fast. He summons the... It's hard to add in the commentary. I summon the Hunting Nexu, which again is the 4/4 that gets +2 bigger. He flips, summons Fennec, and just swings into my Hunting Nexu, and now they're both gone. And my IG-11 is still cooking, which again, a reason I think Fennec's a little bit weaker, because she can't deal with these big units, and it just completely threatens them a lot. He did have that really good play, though. When he ambushed in that thing, it got to tap down my IG-11, so he just saved himself like 6 points of damage, which is really annoying, but it's okay because I still have my unit on the field, and my Punishing One is still there. So we're still resourcing, which is really weird for this deck. If you guys, again, watch my draft video, my curve is incredibly low. So the reason I must be resourcing is because I have the 1/7 drop that I drafted, Choose Sides, and I was saying, man, I'm winning on life so hard, and I'm board really good. He has to play like a crazy creature to win and come back, and if I play Choose Sides, I'll just win every time. So, you know, we're at 7. I think we're at 7 resources now. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 7. So next turn we could play the Choose Sides to get them. And right now I'm leaning in, and I'm like, we have different math, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't make a mistake because I write it down. And, you know, the tokens are really cool, but I feel like you can make a lot of mistakes. Whether you guys want to argue about me counting up or down doesn't really matter. I think just writing down something on paper or keeping track with like a calculator or something in front of you is just a better way to keep track of life. So he was at 15 either way, and then I hit him for 6 and 3, so he's at 6 left, and he's taken 24 total damage. He just puts the tokens away. He summoned a 3/2 this turn, and now he's using the Fennec ability. And he gets to actually ambush my IG-11, which is a great play on him. The 3/2 that he played actually buffs his hunting his whatever the kitty, I can't say its name anymore, and making it a 6/4, so it killed my IG-11. I play Clan Challengers, which is one of my favorite cards of the set because it just swings so big and it's very good at living. We also resourced again, so we're at 8 resources in Kylo, which is crazy, but now I'm able to play the 1-drop and Choose Sides. So if he somehow plays like this crazy Sentinel, I can just take it and then win the game. But again, he's just dead to the 6 damage. Hopefully he wasn't playing around having that extra life, but again, he would have needed to deal with the Punishing One in some way, and I still have the Choose Sides. So I feel bad about the life discrepancy. I'm sad that we didn't like catch it right away, but I felt pretty dominant most of that game, and it was probably because he missed the first turn of the game. All right, guys, we are on the last video. So exciting. This is going to be game 3, and as you can see, it is a shorter one, if you guys looked at the time down there. But yes, game 3, round 3, whatever. It's game 1, round 3. We're 1-1 in the draft now. And like I said, I was feeling that the deck would be a 2-1 or 3-0 based on like how many low drops I had and like the way I built it. And I definitely think I could have 3-0'd, but I do think I got high rolled in that first game. So this guy has very, very, very hard to shiny sleeves. They're just not good with the light. So he's playing Yellow Ray. I know it's hard to see. So I'm against Yellow Ray. I'm feeling okay about that. I don't know how good of yellow is as a supporting color for Ray. I'm thinking like not ideal. I think Red Ray is a little bit better. He ends up having a really good turn 1 play, though, against us, so I'm a little worried. He has Moisture Farmer. Moisture Farmer is great in Ray, guys, because it becomes a 1-5, so you're playing, a turn 1-1-5 play, and then it can go all the way up to a 3-7 if not dealt with, and it has to be dealt with because it has Restore 2, so you can't just ignore it and go face. So the card is very annoying. I play 2-1 drops, which is actually a good answer to a 1-5, right? And in this turn, I'm hoping that he doesn't buff his Moisture Farmer. I'm hoping he doesn't see how powerful it is to buff it, because if he buffs it, it answers my Dengar. And if I want to kill it, he gets to kill my Dengar. I have to use Kylo's ability on Guavian and trade, and I'm left with the low HP Guavian Antagonizer. He can probably kill it next turn and draw a card really easily. I lost a lot of damage swinging into the Moisture Farmer, and I lost the card in my hand and Dengar. That is a lot to lose for just 1 Moisture Farmer. But he doesn't buff it, and he plays a 3-costed 2/2 spaceship, which is actually super ideal for my hand. So I play Punishing 1, which says when an enemy unit is defeated, if it's an upgraded unit, I get to untap it. And guess what, guys? He has an upgraded unit. And because it's only a 1-5, there's not much it can do. I think he was probably thinking about passing here, but he ends up just putting 1 damage on the Dengar, saying, hey, my Moisture Farmer is going to live still, and, I can finish it off next turn if I want to. But that kind of just saves me some action economy. I don't have to swing and kill it, so I just use Kylo's ability to buff my Guavian and then kill out the Moisture Farmer. So because he swung like that, I actually end up getting 2 more damage to the face, which is nice. So Dengar now gets to go in for 2. Our Punishing 1 got to untap because an experienced token unit got killed. And again, I control the board. So it's not always, if you guys saw the last game in aggro decks, it's not always that you go face. When you can completely control the board like this, it's pretty ideal. So he can't really do any shenanigans, right? I didn't want him to buff up that spaceship. It also has Restore 2 as well. So it's better just to get these Restore 2 cards out of the way and be vibing with my units. So I have 3 units to his 0, and he had a very, very, very sad draw. He has nothing to play. It was my understanding that his curve was he kept a 1-3-5-6 curve, and then never drew anything to play in between, which is pretty unlucky. So I just do my whole turn at once. We get to swing for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 because of Kylo. So he goes to 19 left, taking 11 total damage. And then I play Hunting Nexu, and then I attack him for 5, which is, this is as fast as my deck can be, right? I've emptied my hand. I played Hunting Nexu, which is the highest attack 4-drop in my deck. And we're just totally vibing. Him having an off turn is just really bad and really good for us. Ray coming out at 6 is just a little too slow. I mean, even if he did have a unit to play, if it was just a normal whatever everyday unit, it probably would have only been able to answer one thing. And now he's just a little bit too slow. He just drew that 3-drop. I play the Outland TIE Vanguard to buff up one of my units. I cannot putting on that guy, though. It's got to be a 3-drop or less, so I think I noticed that pretty fast, and I just put on the Dengar. It doesn't really matter which unit I put it on because I think he's dead. I play a second Outland TIE Vanguard. And we attack for 4, 5, 6, 11, 17, 20. Which is crazy. And as you guys can see, he kept 2 6s. So he kept a I probably, I don't think I would have kept something so expensive, which maybe, led to him missing the whole turn of play. But again, even if he had that whole turn, even if he killed Hunting Nexu, right, with whatever 4-drop he had, I still would have done 2, 6, 11, 14, putting him down to 2, which would have been very hard to recover from, right, guys? Even with Ray coming on the following turn because you only have 2 life left. I guess he could have played Evacuate, but we still would have had my Kylo if that wasn't the unit that he dealt with. Though Evacuate into Ray starting to heal, that might have been enough. I don't know. That's actually pretty spooky scary, but it doesn't come up much because I obviously the legendary. Whew. All right, guys, that was a lot of talking. And we did it. So those are 3 rounds. I ended up going 2-1 with that Kylo deck, which I think is about normal. I think I could 3-0 even with Kylo. So Kylo, again, I think is a D tier leader. I think he's really hard to make work. I think that just a lot of things lined up in my draft picks. If you guys noticed, I got a lot of 1-drops at the end. I got a lot of Outland High Vanguards passed to me. I think like I just got a lot of good cards at the end of the day. And the reason, again, I give Kylo a lower rating is because he's a rare leader, so you see him less. And Bosk comes out 1 turn later and has 6 health, which lives against a lot of things and has like a pinging effect and like a double bounty thing. Like you can do some crazy things with that leader, and it just feels a lot better. Like I feel like I could have ran this exact deck with Bosk and pretty much had like similar results, if that makes sense. Like I just drafted a super, super aggressive deck and just like have this leader that, you know, complements that. Okay guys, but that's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed watching all 3 draft games all together like this, let me know. I can try to do it again in the future. Whenever I do a draft, I'll just record my games. Maybe can't always do all 3 games in one video though, just because, you know, if I play a control deck, the games are more like 30 minutes long instead of 5 to 10. But we're done talking now. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, peace.